You're right, all. So this is obviously quite a sensitive topic, but I've got to cover it because it has to be said. So I was watching a Paul Joseph Watson video just a minute ago, and he's already covered it. So you got this ice hockey player here, Matt Petgrave. I think he plays for Pittsburgh, so an American team playing against the Nottingham Panthers. And it's come out recently that allegedly he's stamped on his neck with the ice blades, with the and this was never reported initially. There was never any mention of this. I mean, I thought at the time it was a bit odd. I thought it might be some freak accident that happened, but imagine my shock at the demographic that's involved in this. So it's an unusual sport for Africans, or I think he looks kind of mixed race, to be involved in with like winter sports. But it just goes again to show that they can't behave themselves. But to go to a different topic is it rings, what's the old saying? History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. So do you remember this back in June, 13th of June? And it's more attacking the media. So like the same thing happened, something similar happened in Nottingham where an African guy went on a rampage in the early hours of the morning in Nottingham city centre and took three totally innocent lives, people minding their own business. I think two of them were students, and I think the older guy was a taxi driver. But the main point being is the way the media did everything they possibly could to try and hide who was behind it. And guess who it is? The usual suspects. And again, it's more attacking the media than the Africans that are involved with this sort of stuff. I mean, that's what happens with these people. I mean, statistically, it's something like 50% of knife crime in London is committed by these people. But the media's not going to comment on that, is it? And it leads me on to two other things about weakness. So on East Midlands Today, for anyone who watches it, you've got a guy called Jeremy Ball, this guy here. And there's a bit of a running joke with someone. This guy, he's always wheeled out for like Africans who've turned their lives around. Every little story, it's always about some former black drug dealer from whatever area of East Midlands who was causing problems, and now he's turned his life around, opened up a boxing gym, and whiny Jeremy, as we call him, he sits there kind of nodding away sympathetically at these people. And it just sums up the media, how you can't trust them at all. They're doing everything they can to hide the ethnicity of these people when they commit crimes. We all know, obviously after George Floyd, if things were reversed, it'd be all international news coverage. You'd never hear, and that's a big thing to do, isn't it, if it's true? If he deliberately stamped on somebody with them blades. But then you've got the other story in Nottingham back in June. And what irritates me more than anything about all of this is our reaction, the British people. Sorry, that's a bit of a bad angle of Paul there. He's a great bloke, but there we go. So it's the British reaction that absolutely infuriates me. So you remember the Manchester thing that happened in Manchester? I think it was the 22nd of May, was it? Something like that, where there was 22 people. Odd numbers there, aren't there? But I'm not going to get into that. But what was the reaction of the British people? It was to get together and sing "Don't Look Back in Anger," I think, once in Manchester. It's pathetic. Stand there with your lighters, and this is the reaction in Nottingham. It's even worse.
Petgrave as, well, sort of the victim, really. Just 2 weeks later, he received a standing ovation at the Sheffield Arena, the same place where Johnson lost his life when Petgrave's image was briefly flashed up on the screen.
That is the British people all over. Long gone are the days of the stiff upper lip and the British bulldog resolve. We're a weak bunch of people nowadays, and we're almost we've become childlike to the point where we can't see the danger that's right round the corner. Because you imagine if this is what they're like now, imagine what they're going to be like when they're the majority. But that's my opinion, and you're welcome to your own. Cheers.